Welcome everybody to MeoowzResQ Virtual Adoptions, and I just want to let you know that today is Saturday, the 2nd, I believe, is what today is, and we're basically going to hopefully be showing you some kitties today that will make your day. So give me a quick second here to find my site so I can watch the chats if there are any, and we'll get started. And so there we are. Okay, so now that I've got that ready to go, I can talk to you, and so I can pay attention to what's going on. All right, so first thing I want to do is let everybody know a little bit about MeoowzResQ and what we do and how we do this. So MeoowzResQ is the largest foster-based 100% all-volunteer nonprofit kitten rescue in California. We're located in beautiful Southern California in Santa Ana, and we rescue abused, abandoned, and injured kittens and cats. Many of these are rescued from shelters. They're found by people on airplanes, in delivery trucks, warehouses, or left in boxes, left behind when a family moves, or sometimes found under bushes in the parks. So the rescued kittens that we save, that we take in, are raised in private foster homes with caring and loving families. And sometimes these families have children or dogs, or most times they do have other kitties. Our mission is basically to rescue and rehabilitate these abused animals, these neglected cats and kittens, and we provide temporary foster homes until we can arrange for their adoption to a safe, loving, permanent home. We also strive to educate the public about overpopulation of cats and the benefits of spaying or neutering pets and the kittens that we rescue. We also provide referrals of low-cost spay and neuter programs that are in our local areas. That would be Orange County, Riverside County. This is MeoowzResQ's 20th year in operation, so we've been doing this for a long time, and we're getting pretty good at it. We do strive to give these animals a second chance at a forever home. We operate entirely on donations, small grants, and adoption fees that we collect from adopting the kitties out. And so even the smallest donation, even if it was a couple of dollars, anything that you would be able to donate to us is greatly appreciated, and every penny counts for us. So I'm going to just go ahead and jump right in this week. We have 4 kitties that I'm going to be showing, and 2 of them were here last weekend. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump right in, and the first one I'm going to bring up is Miss Luna. She's gorgeous. So this is Luna. Let me find what her foster mom says about her. And there we go. So this is Luna. She is a beautiful cat, but she's a bit shy. With love, she is slowly coming out of her shell. She prefers to sit nearby when the family gathers, and she follows her foster mom around during the day. I have several cats of my own, so I know exactly what she means by following you around. You'll never go to the bathroom by yourself again. She is very playful with other cats and loves to chase and play with the other 2 cats that are in her foster home. Luna would be a perfect companion for another kitty and would be happiest with a family that has other kitties, no small children, and who would be very patient and understanding and will let her come out on her own time. Now, you'll see down in the lower right-hand corner, there is some information about Luna. Her MRQ number, that stands for MeoowzResQ number. It's a number that we assign to the kitties so that we know when they come in. It's how we track them in our own system. Her MRQ number is Z6-19-1. Luna is a female. She was born in May 27th, 2019, so she's coming up on just a year old. A lot of times when kitties are super shy, they do get along with other cats better than they do people, but I've also seen kitties that start out that way, and just through patience and love and understanding and just letting her learn to trust you and to know that she is safe and secure, knowing, letting you be the person that gives her food, she's going to learn to trust you and love you. And they do come out of their shell quite often. They, come around and start sitting near you, and then next thing you know, they're sitting on the sofa next to you, and then before you know it, they're all laying on their back trying to get love from you. So just because she's a little bit shy right now does not mean she will stay that way forever. She will be happiest with a family who is very patient, and gives her consistency throughout the day. Just playing with her, letting her learn to trust you. Anyhow, so that's Luna. Now, you'll see at the bottom of our screen, we have a phone number, 714-997-0868. That is our office. So if you are interested in Luna and you would like to adopt her, first thing you want to do is go to our website. You're going to want to go to the second website address there listed at the bottom, the one that says /virtual-adoptions. And on that page, I've actually set up 2 different ways that you can fill out an application. So you can use the Word document, just download it, fill it in, and then what you'll do is send it to our email address. The other way is through a PDF form. So either way, doesn't matter which, Word document or PDF form, just go get that application, fill it out, and then you'll send it in an email to MeoowzResQ@gmail.com. It's listed there at the bottom of the screen, right below where I'm at. And then once you have the application emailed, you'll call our office, and you'll need to leave a message. And what will happen is the ladies in the office, they go through the phone calls as quickly as they can. When they're not busy, giving vaccinations or taking other kitties in, or, doing other things that they need to do in the office. But what you'll do is you'll call the phone number there at the bottom, 714-997-0868, and you'll leave a message, and you need to leave your name. You need to leave your phone number. You also need to leave the name of the kitty. So in this case, it would be Luna. You need to mention the MRQ number if you know it. The MRQ number for Luna is Z6-19-1. And just mention that you saw her on Virtual Adoptions. And then what will happen is the ladies in the office will give you a call back. They call people back in the order that they received the phone calls. So, and the person that basically meets all of our criteria first is the person that will get to adopt the kitty. So leave all that information in a message. Somebody from our office will give you a call back. They will talk to you a little bit, making sure that the kitty's right for your home, but also making sure that your home is right for that kitty. Once all that is figured out and everything is good to go, then they'll talk to you and figure out arrangements for you to pick that kitty up. So a lot of times the arrangements are that you go to our office, the foster drops the kitty off at the office, you make an appointment to go pick the kitty up, and then they'll handle everything else from that point. So we do have adoption fees associated with adopting our kitties. I will show them here in just a minute. But basically, if a kitty is a special kitty, what I mean by special is if they are a special breed or an exotic, for example, a Siamese kitty or a Russian blue or a Maine Coon, those kitties are in high demand. So we ask a little bit more for them because we do bring them in and they go out very quickly. We ask $200 for them. A lot of times, if a kitty is over a year old, then the adoption fee is $150. If a kitty is under a year old, the adoption fee is $175. Now, just so you know, these adoption fees The office does have the right to change those adoption fee prices. Sometimes if somebody is interested in adopting 2 kitties, we might offer a slight discount. But again, the office has the right to change those adoption fees at any time. Whatever the office says is the amount that we go with. We do accept cash, and we accept credit or debit cards. We do not accept checks, and that's all payable at the time that you adopt. You talk to the office. So that's kind of the process as far as adopting a kitty from us. You need to get an application in. Once the office has your application, then they will be able to proceed very quickly through the process. But ultimately, you see a kitty on here that you like, give our office a call. Make sure you have the information there for her, her MRQ number, her date of birth. If you have all that information, you'll be sure to be getting the right kitty. So let's go ahead and zip on over to the next kitty. The next kitty is Viktor. Viktor is a male who is, he was born in July, July 3rd, so he will be coming up on a year old here soon. Viktor is a very handsome young man. Let's see what the foster wrote about Viktor.
Hey, buddy, how
again,
are you,
he was
Viktor?
born in July, so that makes
How are
him
you,
10 months
Viktor?
old. His MRQ number is
sweetheart.
Solo 2-20-26. Now that word solo is part of the MRQ number, so make sure you include that in there. It's not just the last numbers. It's the word solo and those numbers. So make sure you include all of that. Viktor is a domestic short hair, brown and white tabby. So he's a gorgeous kitty. Now, one special thing about Viktor is he is microchipped, so that's kind of rare when it comes to kitties that come to us. A lot of times they're not. So, he's already microchipped, so that's something that you would never have to worry about. If you do adopt a kitty that is not microchipped, we do highly recommend that you get that done. That is the best way to guarantee, maybe not guarantee, but at least the best way to ensure that you're going to have the best chance possible to get your kitty back if the kitty gets outside. Okay, so let's take a look at Viktor here. So his name is Viktor. Let's see. He has an adorable two-toned mustache. So if you look at his picture there, you can kind of see a very slight coloration right there around his nose. That is not dirt. That is a coloring in the fur, and it's a mustache. She says he's very playful and curious and loves to attack everything. Other kitties, rubber bands, balls, and almost anything he can find. Viktor is very friendly and loves to cuddle when he is tired out from all of his exploring and troublemaking. He loves to annoy the other cats he lives with and will then walk away like he didn't start it. I've seen that one done here in my own house with my kitties. Let's see. He is one of those cats who will make you smile because his personality shines so much. Viktor will be a great family cat who loves to get cuddles. He will be happiest living with a family who has another kitty or will give him lots of playtime. And like I mentioned, Viktor is microchipped and has a rabies vaccination. So those are two things with Viktor that you do not need to worry about. Again, if you are interested in Viktor, please go to our website, the MeoowzResQ.org/virtual-adoptions. And on that page, you will see our adoption application. Download it either in Word format or as a PDF. Fill it out. And then you're going to send it in an email to MeoowzResQ@gmail.com. Once our office has your application, it's a pretty quick process if you find a kitty you're interested in. You can actually just go ahead and send your application in. If you're looking for a kitty, they will hold your applications, and then once you see or find a kitty that you do like, then they already have your application, you're ready to go, and all you got to do is let them know, I'm interested in this kitty, and it's very quick.
Hey buddy, how are you, Viktor? How are
If
you,
you're
Viktor?
interested, you're going to call our office,
Yes,
714-997-0868. Make sure you speak very clearly. You'll leave a message. You need to say your name, your phone number, mention the name of the kitty, which would be Viktor in this case, the MRQ number if you know it. Viktor's MRQ number is solo 2-20-26. And then mention that you saw him on the virtual adoptions, and one of the ladies in the office will get back to you as quickly as they can.
Hey, buddy. How are you,
Then
Viktor?
what they'll do
How
is
are
they'll
you,
talk to you a
Viktor?
little bit, make sure that the kitty is
Yes,
the right for your home and
sweetheart.
your home is right for the kitty. And assuming everything is good, then they'll talk to you about making arrangements for you to come pick the kitty up,
Viktor.
possibly at the foster's home, but in this coronavirus day and age, a lot of times they'll make arrangements for you to go pick the kitty up at the office. Something I do want to mention is if you do go to our office, we want to make sure that everybody is staying safe. So we have set up some guidelines
Hey, buddy.
that
How are you, Viktor?
I'll read off here
How are
really
you,
quickly.
Viktor?
If you're going to go to our
Yes,
office, first of all,
sweetheart.
it has to be by appointment only. You cannot just show up. We want to keep everybody safe, during all of this. Our office hours are daily from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. We are closed on Wednesdays. Excuse me. If you go to our office and to pick up your kitty, we want only one adult to go. Please do not take your children. We do not want to expose them to anybody, running around. And of course, we don't want anybody that's at our office to be exposed in case. We ask that you wear a mask and, if possible, gloves. What you'll need to do is, we don't want just you being protected. We need to protect the ladies in the office as well. Because if those ladies, if any of them get sick, get ill from this, then that could bring a screeching halt to what we're trying to do. They are the ones that are keeping things going. Thankfully, they're on the front lines for us.
How are you, Viktor?
They may not be, healthcare providers, but they are providing care for the kitties that are in our office, and they're also making sure that people who are interested in adopting can still adopt during this time. They're also helping. They're also there making sure that kitties that are being found and that are being turned into the shelters have a place to go as well. So their job for us is huge, and we don't want them getting sick. Also, if you're going to pick your kitty up at the office, you'll need to take a carrier that's large enough for the kitty to stand up and turn around in.
Hey, buddy. How are you, Viktor?
You want to make sure that carrier is big enough for the kitty, big enough for the size that your kitty is going to be. Don't forget, you may be getting a kitten right now, but in a year, that kitten's going to be a cat. It's going to be an adult size, which means that you don't want to go and buy a carrier now and then have to turn around in a year and get a second carrier because that first carrier is now too small for your kitten, for your kitty. So make sure that you have a carrier that's big enough for them to stand up and turn around. And like I said, if it's possible, get a carrier that's big enough for how big your kitty is going to be. Also, you want to bring a small blanket or a towel to place in the bottom of the carrier, so that your kitty has something to soft to stand on or lay down on. And lastly, just if you have not made the payment yet, please bring your credit card or cash with you. Again, the ladies in the office, when they talk to you and make these arrangements, they'll let you know how much the adoption fee is. So that is that. Let's go on to our next kitty. So our next kitty is a new one this week. That kitty is Gomez. Gomez is a male. His MRQ number is G1-20-2. And it looks like Gomez is born in August, so he is, 9 months old? 8 months old? Almost 9 months old. So he's uh, he's he's not an older kitty. He's not by any means an adult at this age. We kind of look at these guys and go, oh, he's more like a toddler. Um, he has a domestic short hair tuxedo. The tuxedos are basically usually black and white. Sometimes they're brown and white. Occasionally you'll see a gray and white tuxedo. But they generally have kind of a mask and then a white front piece that looks like they're wearing a tux. So that's kind of how you look at a tuxedo, or how you can determine whether it's a tuxedo. Gomez is, let's see, his foster mom basically says that he's a very sweet and crazy boy. He is a total lap cat and lives for all the attention and love he can get. He loves getting back scratches a lot. He is also very playful. He loves playing with whatever toy you give him, but his favorite toys seem to be the ones he can steal from the dog. So it sounds like they have a dog in their home. He says he gets along with dogs as long as they are small like him. So I'm guessing they have a small dog, and Gomez likes to steal the toys from the dog. Gomez is also very adventurous. He loves exploring every nook and cranny he discovers. He loves kids as well and can play with them all day if he is given the chance. So it sounds like Gomez would be happiest with lots of attention and plenty of playmates. So if you have a house that has children and small dogs would be fine, other kitties would probably be fine as well, and you're looking for another kitty, you know what? He's a cutie. I would be falling all over him. Looks like he loves to play. He looks like he can play by himself as well. So he would probably be okay as a single kitty. Something we do talk to people about is the importance, or not so much as importance, but being able to identify whether or not a cat or a kitten is old enough to be by itself. A lot of times when you take a kitten away from its siblings or away from other playmates, especially when they're really little, they get bored easily. When they're babies, they are learning just like any human child. They are learning, and they can only really learn from other cats. So for the babies, it's really important to have another kitty around. If you had the opportunity to get two babies, the finances are not that much more for two versus one. You're not going to see any more dirt or litter from two than from just one. But if you had a single very young kitten, a lot of times they do get lonely, they get bored, and when that happens, sometimes they can get destructive. So if you have a beautiful leather sofa and you're only wanting a single little baby, I bet your beautiful leather sofa becomes a beautiful leather scratching post. You don't want that to happen. So it's really important that if you are looking for a single kitten and you're looking for a baby, that you really do consider taking two. Or if that is not possible, then we're going to probably talk to you about maybe looking at a kitty that's a little bit older, just like Gomez. Gomez is only 9 months old, so he's still a baby. Just because they're a little bit older, and I'm not talking years older, I'm just saying a few months older, we have a much better idea whether or not this kitty is going to be okay by itself. We want to make sure that these kitties have happy and safe and loving homes, and we want them to be happy there. So, a little baby all by itself is not always going to be very happy, but there are a few exceptions. Occasionally we do come across one or two that could care less whether or not there's another cat around. They go a little crazy, and they're their own best playmates. So we do have some of those, and we do our best to make sure that people that are looking for a single little one, we let them know about those. Okay, so let's keep going. Our next kitty is a kitty that lives in the same house with Gomez, and it looks like it is one of Gomez's brothers. Now the name is Tempera. Um, at first I thought it was a female cat, but it is not. It is a male cat. Tempera's MRQ number is G1-20-7. Tempera is male, and it looks like he was a sibling born on the same day as Gomez. So you have two brothers here. I'm sure that they have been, raised together their entire time. Let's see what the foster mom says about Tempera. Okay, Tempera, domestic short hair, orange and white. Again, born August 13th, 2020. No, 2019. I wrote that down wrong here. So 2019. So they're both going on 9 months old. Let's see. Tempera is a very shy boy, but once he warms up to you and he gets to know you, he is an absolute sweetheart. He is very adventurous. He loves staring out the window and picks up on every. I'm so sorry. I'm not reading this for the first time, I promise you. He loves staring out the windows and picks up on everything he sees that moves. Tempera is very affectionate and, oddly enough, actually enjoys getting his belly scratched. Not every kitty does, so, sometimes it's a trap, so don't let them, trick you into scratching their belly when all they really want to do is, claw at you, because belly scratches are for dogs, not necessarily for cats. Tempera is super playful, and his favorite toys are, oddly enough, Q-tips. Wow. Okay, Q-tips. He loves playing fetch with them. That's odd, too, because a lot of kitties are not, they don't play fetch. Sorry about that. He also really enjoys catnip a lot. He does not get along with dogs, so it looks like dogs scare him, and even though they have a small dog there, sounds like this small dog scares him. But he is very good with kids as long as they are gentle with him and don't get scared. As long as they are gentle with him and don't scare him, startle him. If a cat gets startled, especially if they're shy, they usually jump up and bolt. They take off. So if you have kids, as long as they're gentle with him, he will probably learn their idiosyncrasies, and he won't be scared of them. But in the beginning, that may very likely be the case. Every little move that startles him, he will run. Tempera would be happiest with a family who has older children, I'm sure, or a family who will give him plenty of playtime. His new family will need to be patient and understanding and let Tempera come out, learn to trust them, and then he'll come out on his own. A lot of times, what we'd normally tell people when they take a kitty home for the very first time, you have that kitty in a carrier. First thing you want to do is set up the litter box in the spot where it's going to be. And then you're going to take that kitty out and place him in the litter box, and then just step back. Let him learn his new environment. Sometimes the kitty will go find him a dark hole and they will hide. That's okay. Just make sure you place some food and water nearby and just leave them alone. Don't pull them out from under the bed. Don't let your kids, don't let your kids crawl under the bed to pull them out. That's just going to scare them more. Remember, these kitties, some of them came from the streets. Some of them came from situations where they were not treated very well. So they may already be cautious of people, and just by forcing them to do something that they're not ready to do will push them away. So if you do take a kitty home and it's scared and it hides, just be patient. Let that baby come out on its own. It will learn to trust you. Just make sure it has some food and some water and access to the litter box, and then leave the kitty alone, and it'll come out. I promise. It happens. I did take a kitty home in myself once that he was from a situation where his foster mom, or where his permanent mom had passed away, and he came to me after having to be staying in the shelter for 30 days because he became part of the estate. And when he came to me, I let him go into my isolation room, which at the time was my second bedroom, and he found a small spot inside my closet, and he would sit in there, and I would go in every day and sit on the bed and just read out loud whatever I was reading at the time, whether it was a book or something on my iPad. And he got used to my voice, and then he would start poking his head out and looking for me. And then, after it took a couple of months, but I just made sure he had food and water nearby. I made sure he had access to the litter box. And then after a few months, he started coming out, and he would sit nearby, and then he started sitting at my feet, and then he would sit on the sofa next to me. So you just have to be patient. And I would have never guessed this kitty would have been adoptable, because he was so terrified when he first came to me. He was adopted by a wonderful woman who I learned a little later that he loves to have his belly scratched, and he literally lays on her head at night when he sleeps. So, these kitties will come around to you. You just have to be patient with them. Let me go over a couple of things here. I want to show you our links page, which, let's see if I got that information up there. There you go. So this is just information that you can, a couple of links there. Our website, MeoowzResQ.org. That's 2 O's there, MeoowzResQ.org. That is our website. And the page where you're going to find our application, the adoption application. There is also on that page, there are 2 ways that you can donate. So if you are interested in donating, maybe you can't adopt right now, but you are interested in maybe donating a little bit, you can donate through Network for Good, which is a program that helps organizations keep in contact with previous donors and adopters and fosters and volunteers. And so that's one way you can donate. And through that program, basically you create your own little account, and then you can actually set it up so that you can keep track of how much you're donating and when you donate and how often and how much total over the course of your entire time having your account. So it's really, really nice if you're interested in using that, and also if other organizations use it as well. Another way that you can donate is through PayPal. You do not have to have a PayPal account. That link also accepts credit cards and debit cards. So just because it says PayPal doesn't mean that it's just PayPal. But you can use that link to use a credit card or a debit card if you want to donate that way. And those you'll find on that virtual-adoptions page where I've set all that information up. Let me see. I wanted to let you know about our pricing. So let's see what I have up here. So again, what I was telling you, our MeoowzResQ office reserves the right to adjust these adoption fees when they feel it's necessary. So even though maybe a foster tells you, this kitty, you can adopt it for $100. Well, if the office turns around and says, no, that's not quite right, the adoption fee for this kitty is $150, then we have to go by what the office says. A lot of times the fosters are not informed of changes, or they did not realize that there was a change in something, and we just want to make sure that you get the correct information. So if there's any doubt or any question, we always go by what the office says. What I mentioned before, the exotic breeds, the Siamese, Russian Blues, Ragdolls, Maine Coons, those are all exotic or special breeds. Their adoption fee is $200. If a cat is under a year old, so up to 1 year old, then the adoption fee is $175. If the kitty is over a year old, then the adoption fee is $150. Occasionally, we do make small discounts. What does that adoption fee get you, though? Well, first of all, you're going to have a kitty that is spayed and neutered. You're going to have a kitty that has had at least its first FVRCP vaccination. I will explain what that is here in just a minute. They will also have, when a kitty comes into our organization, we always by default give it a deworming medication just to make sure if they have any, some of the basics, we give it a very broad spectrum kind of deworming medication. So if they have something that's just very common, this should catch it. If it doesn't catch it, we have other medication that we can give them that will cover other types. And then lastly, we always give them a flea treatment just to make sure, even if we don't see any fleas, we give them a flea treatment anyway that first time. After, once you have the kitty in your care, that's between you and your vet how you want to treat your animals as far as flea treatments and vaccinations. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the FVRCP vaccination. So let me bring this up in just a quick second. So the FVRCP vaccine, what does that cover? It's an important part of every cat's routine. So it helps to prevent 3 potentially deadly airborne viruses, rhinotracheitis, calicivirus, and panleukemia. And I have a little bit of information about each of those. So let's bring up the first one. Let's talk about, oh gosh, I can't hardly read it, but let me bring up my other page here. Okay, so rhinotracheitis is triggered by the common feline herpes virus. It's just like us getting a cold sore. Once you get this, it is something that will, when you're really super stressed out, it could come back. So the symptoms include sneezing, runny nose, drooling. A lot of times the kitty's eyes become crusty, or it kind of looks like slimy or mucusy. And the kitty will sleep a lot and eat a lot less. So if left untreated, this can cause dehydration and starvation and eventually death. So it is important that you always keep an eye out for stuff like this to make sure that your kitties are safe. The second part is called calicivirus, and let me bring that one up. And the calicivirus it has similar symptoms. It affects the respiratory system and also causes ulcers in the mouth. And it can result in pneumonia if it's left untreated. And kittens and senior cats are especially vulnerable. So it's really important that they do get these vaccinations. This one vaccine covers these 2 viruses as well as panleukemia. And I will bring that one up. And panleukemia is also known as kitty distemper, and it's easily spread from one cat to another. And it's so common that almost every cat will be exposed to it at some point in their lifetime, regardless of their breed, regardless of living conditions. It doesn't matter. Almost every cat has been exposed to it or will be exposed to it in their lifetime. It's especially common in kittens who have not yet been vaccinated against it. And symptoms do include fever, vomiting, bloody diarrhea, and it can actually progress very quickly. It requires immediate medical attention, and without intervention, a cat can die within 12 hours of contracting this disease. So it's really important that you watch for these diseases in your kitties watch for these symptoms in your kitties. And if you see any problems like this, take them to the vet. It's, these are kitties that are supposed to be part of your family, and you want to make sure that they're healthy. These 3 viruses can be contracted by cats of any age. Kittens will normally receive their first vaccination, their first FVRCP vaccine at 6 to 8 weeks old, somewhere around there. And it's followed by a booster shot one booster shot 21 to 28 days later. Adult cats should receive a booster shot every year or 2, but that's between you and your vet. Take their recommendations. Some vets will say 1 year, some vets say every other year. Again, talk with your vet. It's definitely one of those things that You want to make sure that your cat is vaccinated by this. It's just how often does it happen. Any cat that is brought into our organization that we do not, if it's an older kitty and we don't know if it's received a vaccination, we give them one. The FVRCP vaccine is a live vaccine, which means that we're giving a very small or degraded version of a live vaccine to the kitties. So definitely, if your kitty is pregnant, they should not be getting this vaccine. So that's the only time we'll really hold off on that. Occasionally, doesn't happen often, but occasionally a kitty can contract one of the diseases from the vaccine, experience some side effects such as a fever or vomiting. These are an exception. They are not the rule. And the vast majority of the cats, FVRCP will only protect against these 3 viruses, rhinotracheitis, calicivirus, panleukemia, but by getting this virus, it can also help fight off other viruses as well. So just because it's these 3 are the main ones why they say FVs for feline vaccination, RCP, rhinotracheitis, calicivirus, panleukemia. Just because it mentions those 3 viruses specifically, it can also help with other viruses. So again, very, very important. Get your kitties vaccinated if you haven't done that. It's important that you do that. Let's see, what else do I have here? What do you get when you are getting one of our kittens? Let me show this. So what do you get when you're getting one of our kittens? So you're getting a happy and healthy kitty, at least the best to our abilities to make sure that these kitties are happy and healthy and, in the best care that we can possibly give them. You're going to be getting, let's see, what else here? You're also going to be getting a med record, and that med record looks like this. Basically, it gives you all the information medically that we know about the kitty all on one page. So when you get this med record, this is something you'll want to take to your vet and show them so that they can see what we have done for your kitty and make sure that, they have all the information they need to care for the kitty. You know what I mean. We want to make sure that they know everything that we know. You're also going to be getting a voucher for a free checkup with one of our partner vets. So this is to show you that we want you to know that you are getting a healthy kitty. We are all volunteers, so occasionally things do fall through the cracks. Sometimes we miss something. But we also want to make sure that you understand you're getting as healthy a kitty as we can possibly give you. So we want you to take your kitty to one of our partner vets and get a free checkup. Basically, you'll walk out of there with nothing other than you got a healthy kitty. Also, what you will be getting is, if we have it in our possession, you'll be getting a spay or neuter certificate. Sometimes these kitties are fixed somewhere along the line before they ever come to our care. We hardly ever know where or when that happened, but we do have them checked by a vet to ensure that they have been fixed. So we may not have a spay or neuter certificate, but you may be able to get a verification that this kitty has been altered statement from a vet. So you'll be getting that. And finally, the last thing you'll get in your envelope is you're going to get a receipt. So we want to make sure that the kitty is cared for. And if for any reason, you find, you have 2 weeks to kind of work through this and make sure that things are working out. And if it doesn't work out, we want you to bring that kitty back to us. We want to make sure to continue the care. Occasionally, people will take a cat home and they have another kitty at home, and the two just don't get along, no matter what they've tried. We understand that not every kitty is going to get along. It's not going to work out. We don't want you putting the kitty up on Craigslist or giving it to a neighbor. We want you to return the kitty to us. That is part of the contract that you are signing. So you, on your receipt, you'll see these things listed there that you're required to initialize. We also want to make sure that, in the first 2 weeks, if things aren't working out, all you got to do is give us a call. We'll take the kitty back, and we just like knowing why, the reason for returning the kitty. But, we will take the kitty back. Also, in the first 2 weeks, if the kitty gets sick, all you need to do is give us a call. We'll either get medication to you, we'll have you bring the kitty in, and we will treat the kitty in our office, isolate it and treat the kitty in our office with meds there. Or if it is severe enough, we'll take the kitty to one of our vets, get it healthy again, and then return the kitty to you. Within the first 2 weeks, you're going to know, if a kitty gets sick in the first 2 weeks, it's usually because it was in our care when it got sick. It just started showing symptoms once it got into your care. So those are the things that you would, the documentation that you would get when you adopt a kitty from us. And let's see, what else do I have here? Oh, let me show you our website. So this is the website that has our that virtual adoptions link. This is the page that it goes to. You'll see that right here is our YouTube channel. Right now, until I have over 100 subscribers, the channel name is really weird with lots of letters and numbers. Once I get 100 subscribers, I should be able to change that to something a little bit easier to remember. Here are those adoption applications I was telling you about. You'll download either the PDF version or the Word version, fill it out, send it into MeoowzResQ. Let's see if that will pop up there. Yeah. So here's our adoption application. It's pretty simple, just one page. You'll fill it out and then email it. Let's see. Yeah, so you'll email it to MeoowzResQ@gmail.com. And then just make sure that when you, and you can go ahead and do that at any time. And then once you see the kitty that you're interested in, the office will already have your application. And then at that point, it's a very quick process getting a kitty to you. And the next things you'll see here are links to other ways that you can help us out if you, if maybe adopting isn't in the stars right now. Maybe you can visit our Amazon wish list. There are a lot of times where we need paper towels, or we need baby wipes, or, cat beds, or kitten formula, or, cat food, things like that. And Kathy has put together a wonderful wish list on Amazon of items that we use very regularly, usually in the office or at our regular adoption events. Also, if you happen to shop at Ralph's, I know here in Southern California, Ralph's is a very common grocery store. And if you shop at Ralph's, you probably have a Ralph's card, and you just need to go on your Ralph's account and, you can set up in there to point to a specific nonprofit, and then the money doesn't come from you, but a percentage or a small portion of your total bill is actually paid to that rescue. So that's one way that you can give to MeoowzResQ without actually dipping into your own pocket, just by shopping. Same with Giving Assistant and Chewy.com. They have they give us a small I think it's $20 for the first time users at Chewy.com. So if you go to Chewy.com, you can always put MeoowzResQ in as use this link, and I think that shows them where you came from and that you're a first time visitor to Chewy.com, and they will donate a small portion to us. And finally, down here is what I mentioned to you: donate through Network for Good, or you can go donate through PayPal. Again, PayPal is not just PayPal, so you don't have to have just a PayPal account. You can actually use your credit card or a debit card by clicking on there, and then it will allow you to choose one. Either you use either PayPal or a debit or credit card. So those are two really easy ways to donate if that is something that you can do. And speaking of donation, let me bring up. Let me see what else. I'm just going to bring up our thank you page really quick, and while I'm telling you about Giving Tuesday. So let me see. Here we go. So let me tell you about Giving Tuesday. So I got to find it really quick. Hold on. So here we are. So Giving Tuesday is something that happens in November. It's one of the biggest donation days of the year. And Giving Tuesday is a movement that, there's a group. I'll tell you what. Let me just read what I have here. It says the annual Giving Tuesday in November is one of the biggest donation days of the year. In response to COVID-19, Giving Tuesday is now helping nonprofits by announcing a day of global unity for May 5th, which happens to be this coming Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, if anybody doesn't know. And then basically, if you want more information about this, go to www.givingtuesday.org. We want you to join the movement and give each Tuesday and every day, whether it's some of your time, a donation, or just the power of your voice in your local community. It's a simple idea, whether you come together with your family or your community or your organization, just find a way to give back and then share your ideas. But for this coming Tuesday, like I said, it's the biggest donation days of the year, and because of COVID-19, they are organizing this coming Tuesday, May 5th, to be a day of global unity, where it's a second Given Tuesday for the year. So lastly, one more quick run through of, actually, I'm just going to say thank you, and we'll go from there. Thank you for joining us, Meow's Virtual Adoptions. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We'll be back next time with more kitties available for adoption. And until then, keep chasing the red light.